Oh, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're really well today. I know most of you are based in Alberta or somewhere in Canada. I hope you're enjoying the day so far. I'm not going to keep you too long. I just did a video over on my business page about dehydration and weight loss and weight gain. It was like 13 minutes or so. So if you didn't see it, go check it out. It's pretty informative. I'll be tagging a few of you in it. But otherwise, this topic has been on my mind for a week or so, and I speak about this a lot in my HITA guide forum or my master's guide forum. And that's breaking a fast and the importance of planning how you're going to break a fast. And this is super important, and most people don't get it. And as much as I try to drive information home, I know people don't remember stuff the same way I do. This is why I encourage so many questions and I do so many posts to kind of keep driving home different ideas. Um, but when we break a fast, and there's all different variations of fast, like there's so many different variations of fast that you could do, but regardless, how you break a fast and when you break a fast is super important for many reasons. When you've been fasting for quite a while, obviously your gastrointestinal tract has been not working, like your digestive system has taken a break when you've been fasting. And because of that, you then want to acknowledge, well, if I haven't ate for a certain amount of time, then I don't want to be throwing in this big heavy meal straight away when I break a fast that could cause damage to my gut or stress my gut. I want to kind of ease my way into things. If you, for instance, with my clients, when you look at a warrior fast, I've always said when we break a warrior fast, we want to look at something that's softer, more smoother, food so that we can ease the food into the gut so we don't stress it too much. So I've always been like soup, smoothies, mashed potatoes, kind of slow cooked chicken, stuff like that that's easy to digest because we want to be gentle on our gut after doing a long fast. But not only that, when we break a fast, we also acknowledge that while I know a fast will change my microbiome or my bacteria quite significantly in that short time. And usually, the idea behind a fast is to optimize health on some level or prevent disease, or how I normally use it is to rebalance hormones and address metabolic flexibility. When we understand that, we know that, okay, well, based on the fast, I know I'll have changed my gut bacteria in some direction. So if you think of your gut bacteria, good guys, bad guys, there's other finer details, but let's just think good guys, bad guys. When we fast, the chances are that we have increased our good bacteria, especially if maybe you've been sipping on green tea or a good quality black coffee during your fast. You'll have killed a lot of the bad bacteria and you'll have increased the good bacteria. But you see, these bacteria can be easily swayed. They're not too hard to convince. So if you come in after a fast, regardless of the thickness or the quality of the food or how hard it is to digest, if you come in with foods that we know your bad bacteria, they love, they thrive on that, then we know we're going to tilt those bacteria further in the direction of our bad bacteria, which are our bacteria that cause swelling and inflammation, like I was just talking about, but also obesity and bad skin and just poor health overall. So our bad bacteria, they make us fat and unhealthy. Whereas if we come in with foods that we know these specific foods kill our bad bacteria and they cause our good bacteria to proliferate, so to grow and expand, then we obviously want to do that because our good bacteria, they keep us healthy and lean and strong and our immune system strong and even our cognitive performance strong and our mindset strong. So if we've done a long fast, we want to come in with those sort of foods. So what are those sort of foods? Well, they're going to be our polyphenol rich foods or our modbiotic foods. So those foods that are high in antioxidants and all the subcategories of polyphenols, like our catechins, like our anthocyanins. So we want to come in with those, and that's where we would come in with a polyphenol rich meal. And it depends on your goals, but one example would be one of my favorites is going to be dark chocolate, green tea, and blueberries. So that's going to be a very rich polyphenol antioxidant meal. And I like to add in collagen as well for breaking my fast. Because if I've been fasting a long time, again, I know my digestive system has been taking a break, but more in healing mode. So we know collagen is essential for healing the lining, so that epithelial lining and those tight gap junctions, blah, blah, blah. But I want to come in with some collagen there. So that's how we look at it. Or we might do something very soothing and hydrating. If we look at like a chia pudding, super hydrating, and then depending on how we make it, if we make it with unsweetened coconut milk, we know that coconut is antibacterial and antimicrobial. So again, we'll bring that in and we start killing those bad bacteria with the coconut milk. And chia seeds, of course, they have antibacterial properties in themselves, but you could make that with some cacao powder and some shredded coconut and some raspberries, which is really good. So you've got a lot of modbiotics and polyphenols there. And just in case you didn't know, because I know we have a lot of new members in here, your modbiotics are pretty much biotics. So we've got our pro, our pre, our symbiotics. We've got our modbiotics. These are biotics, which are bacteria that help modulate our guts. So they help regulate the ratios and keep everything in its right place and help with the healing stuff as well. So this is why how you break your fast is really important, because you can easily stack conditions against yourself. If you do a really long fast and you come in with, like, let's just say avocado and toast, which some consider to be healthy, that is not a good idea. That is going to feed your bad bacteria with the sugar on the toast. Then we've got the manoheptulose, which is a sugar from the avocado, believe it or not. That manoheptulose, now it's a very intricate sugar. Most people won't have heard of it, but what that does is it pushes down your blood sugars really low. And we know that when we push our blood sugars low, what happens? They're going to try rebound. So they're going to give you massive cravings. So if you do that on a Sunday, let's say after a long fast, and you do what you think is healthy, your avocado and toast, so the toast gives you the insulin spike, it feeds the bad bacteria. Then we've got the avocado, which in a sense can be healthy, but not in this scenario. Going to push your blood sugars down, you're going to rebound with massive cravings, and then that sets up that kind of scene for the week ahead. And you start with cravings, most people can't fight them. So you're going to feed the cravings. And now you're going to have more cravings and more cravings. And this is just a big spiral of disaster. And before the week is even started, it's most likely out of control at that stage. So how you break your fast is very important. And then we look at the whole when you break your fast as well. So after a fast, all your hormones, and this is why I love fasting for rebalancing hormones. It's really the main reason I use it. Fasting is not really a great fat loss tool at all, and there is lots of studies to back this up. It can be for someone straight out the gate, someone in their 200, 300 pound range, to bring in some fasting, which provides a sort of restriction and calorie deficit, but otherwise fasting isn't a great tool for fat loss. But what it is great for is rebalancing hormones. At the end of a fast, you can get really fast changes in the hormonal cycles and how they balance and work together. But especially, I'm notorious for talking about insulin. When you break a fast, your insulin is very, very sensitive. And most of us don't want to gain weight. Most of us want to lose weight. Most of us want to have loads of energy and feel wonderful and manage our estrogen properly and look young. And in order for that to happen, you have to have insulin balance. So insulin is not just about the fat loss or the obesity aspect of things. Insulin is directly connected to everything else. So if you want to look and feel your best, especially energy, because influence has a big influence, or insulin has a big influence on that, then we need to be aware that after a long fast, our insulin is very sensitive. So if you come in with your first meal and that is going to be high in glucose or high in sugar, and that includes fruit for those of you out there, you are going to be very sensitive to that. You're going to increase the insulin response. You're going to increase how sensitive your blood is to sugar. Like it sees it and it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, loads of sugar, rather than a cool, here's sugar. Now I know what to do with this, which is more kind of how I teach. So we don't want that panic, oh, loads of sugar, let's give me more sugar. We don't want that extra sensitive position first thing in the morning. So if you come in with your oatmeal or your banana smoothie or even your peanut butter in some instances, because peanut butter in some people, although we would consider it more along the lines of a fat, it actually can cause a huge insulin response in people because it's one of our more inflammatory foods. So when you come in with these foods first thing in the morning, you're setting yourself up for a tough day. You're not going to get your goals the way you want to get them because the hormones are so sensitive. So we want to, and I know people won't think of it the way I think of it or consider it, but we want to be constantly stacking conditions in your favor. So if you come in with a fast, you want to be thinking, what can I have that's going to be low on that insulin response scale, but also what's going to support my gut, be easy on my gut because I've been fasting for a while, but also be polyphenol, modbiotic, antioxidant rich, bitter, tart, sour foods that I always speak about. And then lastly, before I let you go, that timing consistency with eating. You want to, just like I've spoke about, keeping your sleep cycles as consistent as possible. I know it sounds boring, especially to younger people, but go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time, even on the weekends. And most of us, as we get older, we're not really into the whole nightclub scene anymore, so that doesn't matter. So we're happy to go to bed and wake at the same time because our focus is more on health as we get older. So if we know something is good for us and it's going to optimize our health, we're going to do it. But the same thing goes for your food. When we eat at the same time every day and our meals are consistently around the same time, our circadian rhythm is very responsive to food. And this is the human body. Our circadian rhythm being our hormonal clocks and our organ clocks and our brain clocks. So we have clocks all over our body, all over each organ and hormonal system. And they're very responsive or sensitive to sunlight, sleep wake times, stress responses, and food responses. And most people don't think of food because when I talk about the circadian rhythm with my clients in the morning, I'm usually talking about sunlight and then bedtime, more routines. But keeping our food timing consistent is also very important because our body responds to times that we eat. And this is going to be important for those circadian rhythms to be optimal. So we want to keep as much as we can that feeding window as consistent as we can, but also the meal timings as consistent or regular as possible. I usually say let's try go for 3 to 4 hours between each meal if we can. And that's always a good range to go for. And that then is going to help support those circadian rhythms and thus your hormonal cycles, which will impact sleep and everything else. So everything does work very well and consistently and synergistically. But it's important that we recognize fasting is really popular right now and has been for quite a while, but fasting needs to be approached in the right mindset. Don't abuse it for fat loss and understand that the timing, how you break it with what you break it with is very, very important. And that's all I have to say on the matter right now. If you have any questions, new members welcome. Some of you are completely new, may have not have met me before or know nothing about me, but welcome. If you have any questions, comment them below and I will keep an eye out for them and then I will respond as I see them. If you want me to cover a topic or anything, let me know. I'm always happy to do so. If you didn't check out my video on my business page earlier, this is not a sales post. This is reflective of the heat wave and dehydration and how it impacted the scales for many people this week. So go check that out as well. Otherwise, have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'll chat to you guys really, really soon. Bye-bye.